Welcome back, everyone, to this Hannity special. I'm Tammy Bruce. Now, before he dropped out of the 2020 race, former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke made confiscating guns from law-abiding citizens one of his main platforms. Remember this.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. If someone does not turn in an AR-15 or an AK-47, one of these weapons of war, or brings it out in public and brandishes it in an attempt to intimidate, as we saw when we were at Kent State recently, then that weapon will be taken from them. If they persist, there will be other consequences from law enforcement.
Well, now, thanks to Beto, it is now apparently safe for top Democrats to push gun confiscation. According to reports, now that Democrats have taken control of Virginia's government, Democratic Governor Ralph Northam has confirmed that he is working on gun confiscation along with other extreme measures. Here now with reaction is Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt and Salem Radio nationally syndicated talk show host Larry Elder. Welcome aboard, guys. I appreciate you joining me. You know, when having come from the left, I know that one strategy is to suggest the most extreme thing, to take 5 steps forward, and then people will be grateful when only 2 steps are taken forward. But it did not help Beto. It was shocking, and yet now the shock, now that you've heard it, the shock is abated a little bit, and there is this now. It seems like a normal conversation to have, but it is anything but normal. Larry, would you agree that this is, in a way, trying to condition the American public to think that this is a normal idea that we should consider? Larry?
Well, finally, we have truth in advertising, Tammy. We have truth in advertising. At least we know that they have now revealed their agenda, and the agenda is complete and total gun confiscation from the civilian population. There's a guy named Nelson Shields. He used to run Handgun Control, Inc., which became the forerunner of the Brady Center, and he gave an interview in the mid-'70s, and he specifically said, the idea is to disarm the country. We can't do it in one fell swoop, he said. We have to do it piece by piece. But that is the ultimate agenda. And they never, ever ask how many Americans every year, Tammy, use a firearm to defend themselves, and out of that number, how many Americans would be dead but for the firearm. There's a criminologist in Florida. He says Americans use guns 1.25 million times every year for self-defense, and of that number, 40% believe but for the firearm, they would have been dead. Why isn't that part of the conversation?
Well, and you know, we've seen every time this comes up, whether it was during the Obama administration or any other time where gun confiscation comes up, there is this rush for more people to buy firearms because they know that suddenly this is right. Americans get it. We know who we are. We're not going to be told who we are by the far left. But Charlie, this comes down to also an issue of legitimacy for a government. We want the government to be legitimate. We want to be able to trust them. But when you see political leaders coming up with this idea of that we're going to take away your firearms. We're going to. That's about the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. Charlie, do you think this has a larger impact on people trusting the government at all as we move forward?
Well, of course, the entire tradition and culture of Americans defending themselves and defending their families and their neighbors with their own firearms is based in the notion that the understanding that you can't trust government to be there to solve all your problems all the time. I live in a part of the country where I and my neighbors are our own 911. If something happens and somebody needs to be protected, you can't expect a police officer, in a massive county, to show up in a timely fashion. People have to defend themselves, and that's why these sorts of attacks on law-abiding citizens who want to defend themselves and their families and their neighbors, it's so appalling. And it's been a generation since we've had a real true gun election. And now that we have Michael Bloomberg, who's devoted the last 8 or 10 years of his political career to trying to confiscate guns from law-abiding citizens, the fact that we have him at the top, and then you have Ralph Northam in Virginia and Democrats in Virginia declaring war on law-abiding citizens who want to defend themselves, I think we're going to have a real gun election coming up.
Now, and Larry, this is what's important when you think about Northam, and this is the hypocrisy of the Democrats. where last time we heard about him, he was talking about how and when to kill the baby after it was born. And we're supposed to believe that these people then, keep them comfortable, and until we eliminate them. And these are the people then who are saying we got to eliminate guns because they care about the safety of people and being able to live their lives and life in general. This really must be an issue when it comes to the nature of the left in the country, and especially Democratic leadership.
You know, and Tammy, the left calls Donald Trump a racist, a Hitler, a fascist, a Nazi. The Second Amendment is designed to prevent the rise of a fascist, a Hitler, and a Nazi. So if you really believe that Donald Trump is a Nazi, why would you want to curtail the very amendment that stops somebody like that from becoming a tyrant? It's really bizarre. And people living in the inner city disproportionately need firearms, need self-defense, because a disproportionate amount of the crime takes place there. And I thought this was a party that cared about the minorities. Don't you care about people living in the inner city and their own safety? Apparently not.
Yeah, it cuts across politics, it cuts across race, it certainly cuts across gender. A firearm is the one thing that gives women genuine equality when it comes to self-defense and the ability to live the lives that suit us. Gentlemen, I look forward to this fight. Thank you for joining me. Charlie, Larry, thanks. Up next, the crisis on the southern border keeps intensifying, yet the left and the media don't want you to know about it, of course, but we will have a full report coming up next.
Oh, wow, you two are gonna have such a great trip.
Yeah, have fun.
Thanks to you, we will. Aw, stop.
This is why Voya helps reach today's goals.
All while helping you to and through retirement.
You guys are just going for a week, right?
Yeah, that's
right. Can you help with these?
Oh, we're more of the plan, invest, and protect kind of help.
Sorry, little pause.
Right.
So, but have fun.
Send a postcard. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Digital eye strain? You need Blue Light Block from HD Vision Special Ops to help reduce eye strain from your digital devices for pure HD clarity. Blue Light Block from HD Vision Special Ops. Available at Walmart Vision Centers.
Hi, I'm Hanno. I created Gabi because